Welcome back to Digi reviews everything in his office that he uses for work. I was just crowdsourcing ideas on which things I should talk about first on this show with my Discord group, just to be sure that I end up covering the most important stuff first, and so I'm not getting asked about it constantly. And of course, the most important thing is the audio setup, because it's probably the most professional thing that I do, and the one that is the hardest to replicate if you don't know what you're doing. I'm pretty big into audio stuff. I haven't experimented as much as I would like to with audio equipment, but I definitely know more than anybody else I've ever talked to about it. And I would love to become a professional audio engineer in the future, but I'm not nearly at that level. So I'm going to tell you a very basic audio setup that I pretty much do everything with these days. Like, I used to have more experimental kinds of setups, but like right now, it's pretty fucking clear cut. So the first thing you need is an audio interface. What this basically is you plug a microphone into it, and it supplies power to the microphone while also translating that data to your computer. So this is plugged into the computer, this gray cord, and this XLR cord goes into the microphone. This is the gain knob, controls how loud you're being, so if I turn the gain way up, even though the microphone's way over there, it's still picking up everything I'm saying, hence the green light. That red light means I was clipping the audio. Ordinarily, I keep this right around like 75%, right around here, because I'm usually fairly far away from the mic when I'm talking into it. If I'm closer to it, I'll have it up like this. And if I'm singing or rapping into the mic, I turn it way the fuck down because I get right up on it and I'm very loud. So, in order to make sure there's no clipping, you got to turn it way the fuck down. And I mean, you can record everything at a low volume and then fix it in post. Like, it's better to have it low and then to fix it later than it is to have it high and accidentally clip all the time, which I do because I'm lazy and I don't want to try to fix my audio. But yeah, this light has to be on for it to be powering the microphone. This knob doesn't really matter to me. That's for like listening, because it can also be used for headphones. Now this cord is a 15-foot, I think, XLR cord, which is going back behind my computer. You can see it's down here, and it's attached to the microphone. The first one of these I had was 3 feet long, and it was not nearly long enough. It pretty much would have to sit on my desk, and like I couldn't move my mic from the desk. So you definitely want a longer one of these if you're doing the kind of stuff I do, because this microphone, right now I am using just one microphone. I used to have two hooked up. There's one that's over there. You can see that arm in the corner. I rarely use two microphones because I record in such a small space that I almost never need two microphones. But this mic has to be able to reach me at the desk if I'm doing a podcast, or over at the couch if I'm doing a Let's Play, or like, any recordings that involve a microphone and are on the couch. So yeah, like, that thing has to be able to travel all over the room, and therefore it needs a super long cord. I picked up the cord at Guitar Center. I have no idea what brand it is. Any XLR cord will work. So here's the microphone. This is an Audio-Technica AT4040. I own two of these. The other one's over there. It's a $300 microphone, and it's basically as much as I could possibly need. Like, there are more professional and better sounding microphones that you will find in other studios, and different microphones all have different strengths and weaknesses. Like, if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of your microphones, there's some that are better for being farther away from the mic, some that are better for being closer, some that are better for male vocals, female vocals, some are better at capturing acoustic instruments. There's a lot of different stuff. This is a very general condenser microphone. It has just generally pretty good. And Audio-Technica, I tend to favor their products more than anything else, simply because they are the cheapest ones at the level of quality that they have. This microphone, this is at a level of quality that other brands would charge $100 more for. And maybe those might have like more specialty purposes, but for like the vast majority of uses, this will be just as good as microphones that are much more expensive. So this $300 mic, this is like as good as I will probably ever need, unless I wanted to build a fully functional studio to do more than what I currently do with audio. Like if I wanted to be a professional voice actor or like a mainstream musician working from a home studio, I would need better microphones than this. But or like a radio host or something. But like this is totally appropriate for anything I'm going to do with it. And if anything, it's overboard. Like I used to have the 2035, which is about $130 or something like that. And that one was fine. Like 2035 was enough for YouTube. Most people are not going to notice the difference. Most people, if you've got anything above a Blue Yeti, I mean, well, really I should say for most people, even a Blue Yeti is going to sound fine. But if you have anything above a Blue Yeti, it's going to sound good to most people. But like, this is the one, this is the level that I'm most comfortable with having. Most of my friends have purchased the exact audio setup I have because they liked my audio. So, you know, Best Guy Ever, Endless Jess, I think Hypocrite might, no, I don't think he does. I don't remember what mic he has, but like, a lot of people have bought this device, this cord, this microphone. And, for my purposes, it's perfectly fine. Now, you may notice that there is no protection on this. There is no, in fact, to the point I've taken it with me so many places that it's got a lot of paint peeled off of it because it's been in backpacks so much. But and I don't put it in a slipcase because I'm an idiot. But this has no pop filter of any kind, and here's why: they don't fucking work. Pop filters are a waste of money. They don't fucking work. Now, if you put like a slip cover on there or something, it might be good for preventing like wind noise or like random stuff that might, you know, get blown into the mic. But for me, my plosives are really fucking loud, like really heavy. I like spit when I talk. My P's are really intense. And at first I had a little cloth one that was in front of this, and it was not a help at all if I was talking straight into the microphone. So then I went out and bought a $60 metal pop filter. Still no help if I was talking straight into the microphone. No matter what, I will pop the mic if I make a plosive. So here's what I do. Instead of talking into the microphone, which no amount of pop filters will prevent you from popping, I have the microphone like this, and I talk here. I put my mouth here, and I talk past the microphone. And the difference in audio quality is negligible, and there's no plosives even without a pop filter because I'm just not talking into the damn thing. This, to me, is the ideal setup. You don't need a fucking pop filter. Just don't talk right into the microphone. Now, I haven't gotten to the most important part of all this. And this probably deserves its own video, but I'm going to talk about it here. It's the mic stand. The arm. This was recommended to me by Best Guy Ever because I never had an arm. I went through a ton of mic stands. I have like 4 or 5 mic stands sitting in my closet. I had ones that went straight up from the ground. I had ones that had an arm that are based on the ground. I had ones that sit on the desk, and they were all a pain in the ass. They were all difficult to maneuver. They all were they were not very helpful for if you're changing positions at all. And they're hard to find space for in your room. They clutter up the whole space. I used to have mic arms just like standing all over the place in my old room. This thing will go wherever the fuck you want it to go. All you gotta do is drag it around. You drag it around, and it fucking stays there. If I'm recording standing up, I just move it up top. Hey, it's at mouth height. If I'm sitting down, drag it down here. If I'm way the fuck far away and I want the microphone to be as off camera as possible, there you go. Now, this microphone arm is about $100. It's made by Rode. It was recommended to me by Best Guy Ever. I own 2 of them. If you buy this, don't be alarmed by the fact that when you take it out of the box, it is going to go straight up like this, and it will not close. Because it needs the weight of the microphone to hold it down. That's how it's able to retain its position. It's counterweighted so that holding the mic is what keeps it in position. If you take the mic out, it is just constantly straight like that. And you can hold it closed, but it will not stay closed. So yeah, and it sits, the mic arm is just on a pointed thing that sits inside of this little thing that's attached to the desk. Whoa. So that is attached via this, a turn doohickey that has a metal. Here, you can't fucking see this shit. There's meant to be a flat piece of metal that attaches to the desk. Mine came off, and so I've just got the sharp end pointing right into the desk. But yeah, this you turn this little thing, and it'll either tighten or loosen this screw that's attaching it to the surface. So, what is the one weakness of this mic arm? Simply that it has to be attached to something. And it has to be a flat surface. Because this piece right here, this has to be perfectly flat for this shit to work. Which means that if you've got a desk like this, where it's got this fucking sloped edge, the mic arm will not attach to that surface correctly. It will hang off of it. So these 2 tables, totally useless for holding this mic arm. But I've got it attached to a TV tray. And I'm going to address the TV tray in its own video because it has other purposes besides the microphone. But yeah. This setup works really well. The arm is so good that I do not need anything else. I don't need any of the other I had so many mic arms that each had their own purpose. All of them are completely useless in comparison to this thing. I never take my microphones off of the arms. You know, the other one is just attached to the arm over there. And yeah, it's perfect. So this to me is an ideal audio setup. The only reason I would ever need 2 microphones is if I wanted to capture 2 people's audio in equal clarity. And to do that, you really have to put them on opposite sides of the room because both microphones will pick up both people. If me and May are sitting on the couch and we've each got our own mic, we're going to be picked up just as much in the other person's mic as in our own. And when you mix that audio, it tends to sound worse than it would if you just recorded through one microphone, which is a problem we ran into a lot on Digi Bros when I tried to do that with me and Victor. So, if someone was sitting in that corner and someone else was sitting in that corner and I had both of them mic'd up, that would work perfectly fine, but I currently don't have any situations where that's necessary. So, yeah. This is my mic setup. Highly recommended. Links to Amazon Associate shit in the description, assuming I remembered to do that after filming the last video. Peace.